You know, and I know, and they know, cause we know, we go all in, you know, and I know, they know, cause we know, we go all in.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest edition of What You've Been Missing. You are now listening to the All Dressed Up Podcast. Your boy K Dizzle DC. Wait a minute. It just feels weird. Hold on. Let me fix that. That feels right. It's your boy K Dizzle DC. And to my left, your right, is the boy Hef Streams. Hef, what is going on, my guy? This is
Man,
episode 10 Trace.
I
Trace Lake.
thought I thought I was on a different show just now. I was on a whole different side of the world.
that,
Now
right?
I'm back at home, man. Now it feels like a all dressed up podcast episode. We live as usual, man. It's your boy Hef Streams. What's good, K Dizzle?
Hey, life is life. Life been life, and there is a lot. There's a lot going on in a short amount of time in the past few days, few weeks. Happy Sunday, everybody. I just don't know how we gonna fit this in just 55 minutes.
Man, we just gonna rock, man. You know, that's what we always do. We live on every platform. Eventually the numbers gonna pop up. So, if you guys want to join, chime in and come through, check out the phone number, shoot a text and
You're
we'll
right.
pull you through.
You're right, Cameron. There we go. Okay. You're right,
You
Cameron.
know.
You're right. He's a little sharper than mine.
Got a surprise guest coming through later in the background, so tonight we're gonna have a
Singing
good
in the
time.
background. You always do.
I'm sipping a little Hennessy tonight.
Oh,
Some big events happen this week, so we're gonna have a good show.
it's about to get dangerous. My
You
man
know,
Hennessy
both
tonight.
we both repping the podcast with the fitteds, man. We having a good night, man.
Again, shout out to the underdogs, man. Look, I want to make sure first and foremost, how was your week, my guy?
Man, it was a blur, man. Back on the saddle. I'm grinding so I can get
Mhm.
some more capital so we can keep all these projects going. I'm happy because I got a couple of interviews set up for the Climbback series. So
Okay.
we'll be recording those this week and working on some editing and production. So they'll be coming out back to back to finish out July. So keep an eye out for the Climbback series and what I got upcoming. And I'm just excited about that, man. I don't want to give my people out just yet. I'm gonna leave that in the tuck right now. But yeah, definitely check me out on Hef Streams Media on all platforms. And the Climax series is coming out strong to finish out July.
Look at it coming out in the back pocket, and he got interviews out the anus. But he don't
Hey,
want to tell you. He gonna hit you the 30, 3 days before. Watch
I'm in B more like I'm a Raven, man. I'm in B more like I'm a Raven. I don't know what I told you, Roland. Shout out to Future.
Shout out to Future for the streets. For the streets out here in these streets. Speaking of streets, where you want to go? Why you want to do this? Because it's a
Man,
lot.
I want you to go with your showrunner because it was phenomenal, and I want to see where you're going with this. So
All
let's
right,
go.
all right. So
As people
we're gonna
pile in and wake up and realize that we are on live, it is 103. The damage is done, K Dizzle said. Let's go, K Dizzle.
damage is done. Let's start there. We're gonna just go straight down the line. Now, were you aware? Were you or were you not aware that the Olympics was this year?
Paris.
Yeah.
I know it because I like it. I like this time. I like when the basketball, superstars of the NBA get together and go across the waters and get their heads cracked. I start to get excited for this time.
Big Money Mike's in the building. But
What's
check
good,
this out.
Michael Leonard?
But check this out. Do you really care?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Do I care to a point to where if they lose, would I be concerned? If they win, would I be concerned? No. Honestly, I'm looking for the entertainment. What I do like, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, is I like this young dog Anthony Edwards on this team
Mhm.
because a little side story, he came out saying this team still got to go through me. He just had a real good season with the Minnesota Timberwolves. So a lot of people were gonna see how he was gonna act out there with the LeBrons and the KDs of the world, but he didn't change himself. He said, these dudes gotta come through me. I'm the man. And that's how he played in that first game versus Canada, man. Anthony Edwards is a truth. I think his experience this year in the Olympics with the KDs and the LeBrons of the world is going to push him even further. And that's where the Olympics, I think, benefit some of these other guys because when he gets back to Minnesota, they might be, I say, probably in a better position to win the championship this year because of that experience.
Well, see, so then who was that? Dylan Brooks in Canada?
Dylan Brooks, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander,
Right.
couple of other shooters, Nimhart. Who else they got out there? I might be missing another person that's easy to remember. My bad if I'm forgetting. But RJ Barrett.
But they feel, I'll tell you this because there's a lot of drama going on with Team USA in the basketball and just the men's basketball team.
Right, break it down. Break it down, K Dizzle.
Kawhi Leonard stepping off, Jaylen Brown not getting chosen, Kevin Durant, talking about the lies, I guess, and talking about people lying about their height on the team. I was like,
hey, K Dizzle, did Jaylen Brown not get chosen? Like, how did he not end up on the team? Do you know any details?
No,
because I don't really honestly know. I didn't look into how he didn't end up on the team. If it was a matter of coaching not picking him for this roster, I think that's a bad decision.
Well, even the mere fact that he even got, he didn't get picked on it, and at the same time, when it came up that Kawhi Leonard didn't come on, they didn't even choose him to replace Kawhi Leonard. They picked Derek White. So
yeah, I don't know what's going on there. He did kind of tweet subliminally, you know what I'm saying, that I guess he was kind of feeling a certain way about it. But yeah, he's not on the team. They got some guys on the team that I don't particularly care for, but I'm gonna still, I guess, root for the team to win games. But if they lose, I'll still be entertained, I'm sure. But the one thing I do like, just for being a NBA and basketball observer for all my damn life, damn near, is the fact that I can see Steph Curry and LeBron play together. A lot of people gonna hate on this shit, but put your hating aside, put your emotions aside, whether you like them or not. This is history right here. So, if you want to see something like that go down and appreciate that, then tune into this Olympics because you'll never see that again. And they definitely linked up in the first game, and Steph had a nice alley oop to LeBron. So it'll cause for some good memories to see those two play together.
But they kind of, I mean, the whole thing about it. So they used to be a powerhouse. Like people wanted to see them all play together. They wanted to see them in the Olympics. Like team basketball in the Olympics was a sport that people would watch. And I feel like nobody cares about this Olympic basketball team.
Well, another thing too, K does a lot of these players that play overseas play in the league now.
Right.
At a higher level. So it's not like it's their first taste of an NBA game because they've already played in the NBA now. So a lot of these teams that the USA basketball team are playing are led by an NBA player. So the allure is no longer there because they've already familiar with them. So it's not like, oh shit, like we finally gonna play Luka. We've been hearing about Luka for the past 3 years. Luka been in our league for the past 6-7 years.
That's fair. That's more than fair. I just feel like it's not it used to be a big up thing where it'd be like, oh, okay, they're gonna go out and they're gonna dominate. We want to watch them play. And the whole world to know that I'm the chance. What is Mike talking about? what you talking about, Mike?
But nah, that's what he's saying. Like if he talking about 2K. He on a mission about his 2K game. Hey Mike, side note, right? Roland been over here and I appreciate him visiting. I'm not gonna say what he did to piss me off, but I've been busting his ass in some 2K and in some Madden, man. I mean, I don't even want to play him no more at this point. But that's another story. But I'll tell you what he did later. What up, Big P? Big P, man, coming through big time, K Dizzle, with some resources for the All Dressed Up podcast, man. So shout out to Big P.
Appreciate it. Shout out to Big P, man. P's in the building. Hey, look, man. All right, we're gonna flip it a little bit. Don't nobody care about the Olympics. I think the election and everything else is kind of overshadowing the Olympics. Don't nobody really care about who or what's going on. I think when the stars come out like Simone Biles and everyone else that we want to see, it starts really hitting all the competitions.
Well,
Then
Shakari in there too.
Shakari's in there. Like I said, you gotta have stars that people want to see. I think what is it, Katie Ledecky? The only reason I remember her name is because I was watching swimming when Michael Phelps was swimming. But outside of that, I mean, it's just like, okay, whatever. Olympics is coming. They need to do something to really spark that up. But
Yeah.
um, and the reason why I'm bringing up this next one, right, is because I know we're in the ADU and the Enough Said podcast too. We're talking about favorite new shows. So one of the things we talked about in that group was Receiver. You watched it, right? How many episodes have you seen?
Did you see Receiver rolling? So I
See?
I, I fell
See?
asleep.
That's what
I
I'm
fell
saying.
asleep. I fell asleep on the episode, but see, you and I've been getting we in that group text with Enough Said, and Mike's been all over it because it starts off with Greg Kittle,
Oh, of
George
course.
Kittle, and the 49ers, and he's doing his thing, but you know they it's Peyton Manning again, produced by his company, and it's
Yeah.
a good in-depth look at
Killing the game.
six or seven receivers from last season. And I gotta look at Devontae Adams, and man, I was like, man, this dude crying like shit. Like he was pressed to go out to Las Vegas, sign the money, sign the contract to go over there, and he out there crying because Garoppolo couldn't give him the ball. I know he thought Derek Carr was probably gonna be the quarterback, but hey, he went to Vegas, bro. Aaron Rodgers is not in Vegas.
That's what he thought. He went out to Vegas, thought Carr was going to be there. He was going to get the ball.
Wait till you see that episode, bro. The
And
man
this-
was crying. He was crying because he was out there wide open. I watched that game live. Matter of fact, we probably was podcasting.
It
And I
probably
think we was watching the Raiders. And I said, Devontae Adams out there running track.
was.
He was like,
So I tried to watch that first episode and I couldn't. I just couldn't get past it. I'll have to watch Devontae Adams. I'll have to watch, JJ. And they did a little bit in the first one about Amon-Ra St. Brown when he rattled off every receiver that was picked before him
yeah.
in round 4. So, everybody has their own source of motivation. They used to talk about Michael Jordan. You look at Michael Jordan wrong, or you throw recycling in the trash can, Michael Jordan go out and do 40 points on you. But everybody has their own trick on how they get them up. But I don't know. The other thing I've been getting on my timeline is Netflix's Supercell, which I still have not brought myself to watch.
Nah, but it's trying to lure everybody in.
Trying to
because
lure
it was
everybody in.
online,
I'm
too.
like, nah, I'm not falling for it, because you know how Netflix run those little quick trailers when you come online. I'm like, nah,
Yeah. And I ain't got nothing against
nothing against it.
I ain't got nothing against a lot of these British shows either, but don't start just shoving all these European TV shows and productions down my throat either. Pause. Like that's another show I think based out of London
Yeah.
with their British actors and shit. But
Shout out to Tyler Perry doing another terrible movie.
nah. But you know what? But you know what though? Did you
have you
see?
seen-
Not to cut you off. No, I did not see it, and I will not see it. But he had one of his actors though come out and say that he actually paid him very fairly. Like a lot of people say Tyler Perry good when it comes to business, man.
Mhm.
So we talk a lot of shit about Tyler Perry movies, but it's good to hear that to have a person in that stratosphere.
Yeah.
A lot of people say he does good business, man. So hey, Tyler Perry, I can act in your movies, bro. I ain't
Look,
wearing no dress.
Shout out to Tyler Perry for having his own studio
do
and
good
taking care of
business.
people and doing the right thing as far as paying people quality money. But we got to get the production up, my guy. I don't know if it's the story right, or I don't know where it's going from script to the to the TV, where it's going wrong. And it's just I
I think a lot of people,
What is
maybe
it?
he feels like that's like his originality. Like,
is the standard too high?
nah, I think he likes it like that. Like, I think he as an artist probably wants people to see like that kind of like play feel in a movie, and you kind of have a Tyler Perry movie feel. Like when you watch it,
it's
you be
like-
like, "Hey, this is a Tyler Perry movie," and that might not be a bad thing. Like the
That's right.
motherfucker is filthy. So he's getting money from somewhere.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Now, if you, Shotty's in the building. Shout out to our Shotty,
What's
man.
good? What's
Okay.
good?
You see the new Beverly Hills Cop?
I fell asleep on it.
Enough said. I'm gonna shout out to Eddie Murphy still making movies.
Man, Eddie Murphy still running around getting paid. Somehow he convinced Netflix to invest in the Beverly Hills Cop. I turned that shit on and fell asleep rolling in 10 minutes.
It was literally a Beverly Hills Cop movie transplanted to 2024. It was no difference. It was Axel Foley being Axel Foley and the same characters doing the same stuff. Like, how is this even still believable in 2024?
Man, much respect to Eddie Murphy's hairline.
Shout out to Eddie Murphy, to the legend, man. It was entertaining. I will say that, because you always want to see Eddie Murphy do more stuff other than kids movies. Real talk. I want to see Eddie Murphy do some more movies, like some more serious.
I like Eddie Murphy. I like Eddie Murphy when he like when he played in Dream Girls, like when he goes outside of his boundaries.
Jimmy
Like,
got soul.
yeah.
Jimmy got soul. Hold on. Watch this ticker. Watch this ticker.
Aha. Hey, Roland, you gotta join in on this conversation. We're gonna let you chime in, Roland. Go ahead, Kermit. Roll it out there, Kermit.
I'm gonna roll a clip because it's ridiculous. So, does anybody like Jonathan Majors anymore?
And put the number up in case if anybody want to chime in, because I thought this shit was wild.
Okay, so this is clip. Just gonna let it run itself back. All right. So, the crazy part is this. All right, Michael Ealy. It's gonna start over again. Michael Ealy pulls up on his crew. Shout out to D Smoke on the far left with Jonathan Majors, Megan Good, and he hugs Megan Good in that fashion. Okay, how you hug Megan Good like that, and then not even
acknowledge them
as her man's, which is right there. How, Sway? How? Look, he didn't even look at him. He didn't even say, "What's up, man? What's up, dog?" He hasn't yet to acknowledge his presence in the entire process.
The light skinisms was going hard right here. It was a lot of light skin activity. They picked her up off the floor. That's the disrespect.
You already know.
No. Oh no.
Trust action right there, bro.
I wanted to wait until the clip was over before I talked.
Yeah, they touching right there. They touching. Didn't they take a picture? She got her arm wrapped around. And he like, okay.
Oh, boy.
Help me out, Roland.
Roland, go ahead, Roland.
I'll slide up a little bit on this.
Let me slide up in there. Let me tell you something.
Roland Leonard, if y'all not watching this, man, if y'all listening to us on Spotify and iTunes, man, Roland is going to join for this segment, man. So go ahead, man. So what you think about?
So this is a perfect. I'm glad we're on this discussion right here now. This is a situation where, though, me personally, she probably would have got mad at me and said I was being too aggressive. You know,
what you mean?
I mean, I wouldn't have sat there like that, like I was Sam Sausage here. I'll tell you that.
That is a perfect version.
I'm just like, okay, and then all of a sudden you starting an argument. It's your fault. Man, give me a break.
Yeah, shit. Roland said he ain't sitting there like Sam Sausage. See me. All right, look. Let's really take this. Let's really take this and break it down. You are Jonathan Majors, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just had a situation in the press where you was aggressive and you was the violent man and all this and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know the details, but wasn't he in the public eyes like being under the gun for some bullshit?
So they tried to hit the man for being, for domestic violence against his girlfriend, his white girlfriend at the time. He beat the charge. It was all thrown out. It was dismissed. Then he goes out and gets Megan Good. And they, he calls her, she's my Coretta.
So here we go, K Dizzle. I bet you any amount of money, if this event here would have occurred before the domestic violence charges occurred, this event would have went down totally different. I think this Jonathan Majors just went through some shit where he was traumatized. He just technically beat the case. He don't want to be in a situation where he's on camera putting his hands on Michael Ealy. But the shit that Ealy did in this video was so disrespectful. Look at the pickup. Like, he picked this girl up right in front. Look at Jonathan Majors looking like he don't really want to look. But he's sitting there like, are you really fucking serious right now? Like that's
So
exactly how he was looking.
here's the thing. You can address this. You can address this and still be confident in your masculinity
All right,
by
break it down. How do you do that?
by ensuring that this guy acknowledges your presence by extending your hand, extending your arm. What's up, man? Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. After
So you think he gave a submissive representation by just falling back like he was her assistant?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. There's no way, shape, form, fashion. I'm a married man. If a guy come up pick up my wife like that, I'm okay. Hold, all right. Hey, what's up? And he don't acknowledge me first, and I don't know you like that.
Hey, K does I don't
No
know.
problem.
I don't know if I'm willing to put myself out here tonight like this.
Go ahead, put yourself out there.
But because I've been through a lot of therapy, bro. You can't be yawning in the back of my fucking episode. You gotta wake up now, man. My brother now. So come on, wake up. We turn. So
slow time, man.
So look, so my whole thing is, you know, that's my wife.
Yeah,
So that's the first part of the disrespect.
right.
You know that's my wife. So you see me, don't even say what's good to me, and you pick my wife up off her feet. Oh
Hang on.
nah. I'm gonna tell you
Hang
right
on.
now, we gonna have a conversation, and it's probably gonna start with the hands talking.
But hold up, but you like you just said, the man is traumatized. And plus you're in a public area, you are a public figure, you're an actor. There's always gonna be cameras around. So you really can't you can't pull that off. You can't do that.
You think Will Smith slapped Chris Rock? I'm telling you, man, I'm not one to sit here and talk about no gangster shit for no man. I'd have put
I
them
think
hands
Will Smith was
on.
hot at night. I think he
I'd
was
have
hot.
put them hands. I'm telling you right now, I know me, I'd have had some drinks in me. My girl get picked up off her feet, he going off his feet. You get me right?
I think he was lit that night. I think he was lit that night. But I do think at that moment you do take a step. You do step in and exert your presence. Let that man know, hey, I'm here. You don't just let the man disrespect you like that and go into a photo op and try to smile. Because when he first flipped, he wasn't trying to smile. So you gotta take a stand in that moment. Now you like I said, that's the difference between you and him. Whereas if you flip off, you already TMZ bound. You already, you going
That's
at
the
you on
ugly.
TV
That's
bound.
nasty work, man.
You
That's
messed
an
up your
ugly.
money.
That's
But
an
they
ugly
smarter on that
situation to be in.
at the same token, he should have been smart enough to know to extend and show his presence that he was there. Say, what's up, bro? Because nowhere in that interaction does he acknowledge his mere presence at any time in that moment. From that clip. Even if it was after the photo op, it's still hella disrespectful. Man to man, it's still hella disrespectful. So you can't even roll like that. But yo, that was crazy. Indeed. That's crazy indeed.
So,
That's why
so let's roll on to the next one, man. That's enough for Jonathan Majors and Megan Good.
all right. So one of the things that we do not normally do on this show is we don't talk about should millionaires get married without a prenuptial? You just throwing stuff out there, ain't you, Pete? Let me answer that question. Smart millionaires should not. That's it. Intelligent millionaires should not get married without a prenup. Would you get married without a prenup if you were a millionaire, Roland?
No.
No.
Why not?
Why not?
Well, even before marriage, man, they always say comes before that. And that's why I believe in MOB, man. You got to protect your money because you don't know what's going on. It could be a mass character. Who knows what's going on,
But what if you all head over heels with your woman that you
If
married?
you head over heels, you got to be more in love with your money.
You said you got to be more in love with your money.
You love that girl to death, man. But you got to be more in love with your money because guess what? If things don't happen good with you and her, as long as you in love with your money, she'll look there later on down the road and say, damn, I fucked up.
So you basically saying it's a mindset type of thing for yourself because you can't let nobody break that.
Yeah, I mean, come on, give me a break, man. The bills ain't gonna stop, is they? She'll be gone. Bills still keep on.
In all cases, in all instances, you should protect your investment. You're protecting your investment.
Yeah,
You're
you're not gonna, let me tell you
and
something.
you are the investment.
Let me tell you something. If I put forth effort and energy and all this stuff, like to build my empire, and I'd be worth a certain millions of dollars, and just because I got shot at ass, she doesn't deserve half that money. You crazy? Man, get out of here.
Roland said just because he got a shot of that ass does not mean she deserves half that empire.
Oof.
What y'all think in the chat, man?
Now when you
Come
got the
through,
kids
man.
and stuff like that, the kids, that's that's a whole total because they are very expensive. But best believe I'm be calculating.
So how much you gonna give her, Roland, if you really, really like fuck with her, but y'all split up? How much would you amicably give your ex-wife?
Depends on how much I'm worth.
All right, so let's say you got 100 million, but you
Capital
got a
or
good worth capital. Make it simple. You got 100 million capital, and you really got love and respect for this woman, but y'all divorced now. How much would you? And y'all got kids. How much would you
How
amicably
many
give her?
kids?
4. You got 100 million, and it's your decision on how much you give
I
her.
give her 8,000.
8,000 a month.
What?
2,000 a kid. Shit. They can all they got that's a rent. All four.
So
K Dizzle,
Roland,
get him. K Dizzle, go ahead. K Dizzle.
keep in mind, Roland, whether you got 150.
And I'll take care of all the extra stuff. You know.
Hold on, whether you got 150 cash or whether you got 150 in assets, you have already exposed these kids to a certain lifestyle, right? They've already been exposed to a certain lifestyle, living a certain reason. And the reason why P's bringing this up is because he's talking about Mary J saying it was wrong that she has to pay her ex-husband, but it gets celebrated when a woman gets paid. Now that's just Mary J was talking that because she was upset she got to spend that money.
Nah, she wanted to give him money. That's a whole different story.
She got a taste of the other side, which they're not used to. But here, the truth of the matter is, when you have kids that are involved and you worth 150 million, you're living a different lifestyle than what everybody else is. Your kids are experiencing and living a different lifestyle. Maybe they're not in public school.
You said the key statement.
Yeah,
You're living a different lifestyle.
Correct. And so you've established your kids with living a different lifestyle. Correct. And if your wife doesn't, if she's been, let's say, a stay-at-home mom or whatever the case may be, and she's accustomed to the lifestyle that you have built for them, now you separate, you send her off with the kids, and now she has to find out her own income, and you give them $2,000 a piece, and it's 4 kids, it's $8,000. Let's say they're in private, you put them in private school.
Well, I'm not including the cash apps here and there and there and there. I didn't include that. That's gonna happen. Can you see me that? Can you see me that? That's not documented.
But that's off the books.
That's off the books. So the courts are going to tell you. The courts are immediately going to tell you you are going to have to pay a certain amount similar to what their lifestyles is.
You talking
Prime
about
example is
Taylor?
Huh?
You talking about? Is P talking about Tiana Taylor?
Shouldn't gotten all she got. Yeah.
Did she divorce Iman Shumpert?
Yeah, she divorced Iman Shumpert. Tiana Taylor had some money before they got together.
She ain't have Iman Shumpert money.
She ain't have Iman Shumpert money.
And see, he didn't sign a prenup. And she wasn't with him shooting in the gym.
Protect your investment at all times. That's what I say. So, it's one of those things where you 150 million a year. The court is going to require you to pay somewhere around, because you're going to pay spousal support. And
if you say you're going to pay $8,000 a month, K Dizzle, that's not going to fly. She going to court.
Child support and spouse support is probably somewhere around 50, 60 grand a month.
God damn.
We'll be in court for years.
But that's what it's going to be. But keep in mind that's 600,000 a year, and you pulling in, let's say, 50,000. That's a drop in the bucket. You're not going to think about trying to fight for that money when you're making so much more to complacent. Now you'll be pissed that you got to pay it, but you're gonna pay it and keep it moving.
I'd rather spend money on the pills than giving that money up like that. I ain't gonna.
I get what you're saying.
You say you don't need it for a house.
Like I said, man, you're not gonna be, making a living off because you got me shot of ass. I take care of the kids. You ain't gonna be having a whole lot of fun.
So what happens if you say you're gonna do the $8 grand, and then she go to court and they turn around and say you gotta do 60 grand? Do you change your lifestyle at that point, or do you just
my lifestyle?
Do you give them anything extra, or do you just cut it off at the 60 grand a month?
Let me explain something. My lifestyle will change because I will be in court for a period of time out of my life for the next. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but
Mhm.
it will change because I'm in court.
Mhm.
You know,
So
'cause
you
I
gotta
get-
fight it.
yeah.
I get what
I
you're
spend
saying.
money on fighting it. You spend more money. Probably chop down from 56,000, probably down to 28,000. That's how you do that, and you add the numbers up at the end of the day. You pay the lawyer the money. You know,
Yeah, at that point, if when you're at that point, you'll have a different idea on why that money doesn't make sense to fight it because you'll be spending more money to fight it than just to pay it.
you gotta add
I'll
it
be
up.
straight with
You
because
gotta
that's
add it
just a different level of.
If you go with numbers, you add up the lawyer fees,
Mhm.
how much you'll be paying per, over a monthly period, however long you got to pay it in child support. You add it up, man. And you got to see what makes sense. It's almost like taking a rebate or interest rate in a car game. Add the number, see what makes more sense. And believe me, I can calculate very good when it comes to that. Yeah,
so there go Pete bringing up some random stuff here, talk about some Mary J. Blige. She just need to pay it and be quiet. Just take a dose of.
I mean,
dose of-
her situation, in my opinion, was different because I think she was just, still trying to keep him, and that was in a form of like keeping some type of attachment to
Mhm.
that situation. But everybody different.
All right. So do you really want to talk? We got to talk about it. I don't care what we got to talk about it.
Got to. I mean, I
Got
think
to.
it's the Twilight Zone. I think the shit's fake if you ask me. But go ahead.
I don't even want to type his name. I'm not even gonna type his
We
name.
gonna ask Roland about it too.
All right. So big in the news. This happened yesterday. Is the quote unquote assassination attempt on Donald Trump at a rally in Bethel, Pennsylvania. So apparently, some young 20-year-old decided to take some shots. Yeah, had to take some shots
I can't
and
wait to accept my output on this.
end, take some shots and assassinate Donald Trump at a rally in Bethel, Pennsylvania. If you have seen the footage at all, there's a lot of conversation in regards to the footage. Do I play the footage or do I not play the footage?
Don't even.
Well, you can play it, and then everybody laugh afterwards.
I'm gonna play it with no audio. I don't even like giving this man, and I'm gonna play it on the quote unquote their opposite team's channel. So here's some of the footage here, right? This is Secret Service all around him after it happened, right?
This is Captain America. Look at this.
Yeah, so this is him immediately after it happened, and them carting him off and them leaving him fully exposed and allowing him to cheer on.
Here's what I think.
So,
you know what I took from that, K Dizzle?
Go ahead. I'm gonna take that off screen right now.
You know what I took from that? For me, if me personally looking at that situation and really just breaking it down at the plainest, simplest observation, right? Look at the Secret Service. Don't focus on Donald Trump. See, the thing about magicians, the illusionists want you to focus on this, but the trick is happening over here.
Mm-hmm.
But they want you to look over here. Don't watch the J, K Dizzle. The action's over here. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So when you watch the Secret Service, quote unquote, they didn't look too Secret Servicey to me. So that's half streams. We can clip this.
Okay.
That's half streams' observation. I don't even want to talk about who allegedly got what. But I'm just saying, when I looked at the Secret Service team, they looked to me like a bunch of actors. Their parts in their hair were too tight. They didn't look like they were real Secret Service to me. I think they were actors, and I don't believe that this is real, man. But y'all can take it from here.
Roland, go ahead, Roland, because you look like you got a lot on the brain right there. And make sure you speak up so I can hear you. I can hear you real good because I know you want to go in on this.
I'm gonna say 4 words. Give me a break.
Say that louder again.
I'm gonna say 4 words, man.
Go ahead.
Give me a break.
Go ahead.
And I say that, man, because you got to be kidding me, man. This it look like a modern day senior citizen Captain America. You know what I mean? This guy, man, he absolutely just
You
was like
say
they-
he's a modern day senior citizen Captain America?
Yeah.
What you mean?
you know the cartoon Captain America that do Marvel comic. You know, it's about America and stuff like that. He's a senior citizen, old guy. You see, after he got stung in the air with a D or something. You know, I don't know what was going on out there, man. Sounded like some firecrackers. They ain't sounding no choppers, but they said that supposedly they had killed the guy, man. They killed him, headshot.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what they say.
So he was climbing up the wall, man. He was climbing up the wall. They was the dudes. They was trying to tell him, look, he's right there. He's climbing up the wall. And they was acting like they ain't want to acknowledge it at first. That's what he was trying to basically say in that interview. When they did acknowledge it, man, they headshot. He was done. But I mean, this just seems like a publicity stunt. Of course, a lot of money's involved, so obviously it's going to draw a lot of attention. A lot of attention and controversy draws a whole lot of money.
Well, he's also in a race to be president. He's in an election race.
There you go. So you know, who knows how that can turn out as far as people that's voting this year. Who's going to want to vote for him? This guy was targeted to get killed. Maybe people want to vote for this guy because he was targeted to get killed. Publicity stunt. Who knows what this world is up to? We'll never know. We have our theories. You know, you have, you know, the CSI and stuff like that. They know what's going on. They was actually there. You know, so who knows? Who knows, man?
With this going the way that it did, I have more questions than I do have answers. And you know, when I went on my timeline on any feed, because and we'll get into the deep dive because I've got friends on both sides of this conversation. From what I don't believe it either. You don't want to believe the worst of people, but you don't want to not believe that people aren't capable of anything. But from everything that I've seen, none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense at all. And you said it best at the beginning, half that the Secret Service didn't look Secret Servicey. We're talking about a former president of the United States and the entire process in itself. If you've seen how the Secret Service operates, you can go back and look at when Reagan got shot, right? Y'all remember when Reagan got shot? Man was so close up to him, you saw how they reacted from there.
Right.
You talk about any other incident where anything popped off and how the Secret Service reacts. And even though he's a former president, the Secret Service is the Secret Service. That don't change. This was tough.
But K Dizzle, you're also not gonna have a planet sniper just sitting up there chilling. There's so much technology to where the Secret Service ain't gonna have that happen.
That's
they're gonna know of every point that's possible for that to be a threat.
Correct. And one thing you don't, one thing you may not be aware of, that's SOP, that's standard operating procedure. Anytime the president or former president go and they're going speaking anywhere, they have multiple snipers on standby in multiple locations. They've already staked out the entire area. They know all the points, whether it's a former or whether it's the current. And there are multiple snipers that are always on top of the White House.
So you're going to cross that threat. You're going to cross that threat early.
Be aware of all access points. I think there's a lot more questions than answers, and unfortunately, because of the guy the guy who he is, it's very difficult to believe anything that happens and anything that goes on within him in this camp, because he's proven time and time again that there's hard to believe any truth in anything that he says or what he says. There it is. Look, so whole thing is staged. Oh, I thought it was the same person once. Ash says the whole situation was staged. Reaction wasn't even the Secret Service reaction. I watched Scandal. So she said it seemed staged, but it seemed like it worked. It seemed like it's got its base and more support than ever before. Going right into the convention this week where he's naming his VP. Here's the problem. If it's staged, the people that saw it and that are smart know that it was staged. They could see clearly that.
But will he have any possibility of losing voters because of it? Because if you were to ask me, I would say he's going to pick up more for the sympathy versus losing more for those who are woke enough to know that it was staged.
Yeah, see what I'm
I think
saying? You don't know what's the, you don't know what's the motive. It's
well,
hard to
no,
say, man.
he's going to lose more for the charade. He's
I
going
don't
to lose.
know. He might. There's some gullible people out there, K Dizzle, that
Uh-huh.
might come over and say now, oh man. I mean, I don't know. It's nasty work. It's nasty business all the way around. And I just think that you're thinking he's going to lose out of this.
Well, look, the smart people are smart enough to see that, and I think we're giving. Even though we made the mistake the first time, I think the reason why we made the mistake on the first time is because people didn't like the other candidate as much. People didn't trust the other candidate because the disinformation won.
And,
And
and,
they
and
made,
also and
they made
also and also capitalists were raging to see what could have happened with him being in office anyway.
so I'm giving America more credit to not make the same mistake twice. I'm giving them more credit. I think we are smarter than what we think. But we also got to stay on guard because people are smart enough to know, okay, none of that makes sense. There's no way you can tell me there's no way you can tell me that after you get an assassination attempt on your life, that the Secret Service is going to allow you to look out into the crowd and do fist pumps and not rush you out of there to the hospital or into your armored car to get you where you need to go. They're not going to allow you to expose yourself for any more possible assassination attempts, even if the guy who they supposedly did it, or the guy that did it, was immobilized. There's no
He pulled off the best what's the word, defensive moves and tactics that I could ever see a 60, 70-year-old man pull off. Because the way that shit went down was so perfect that to me it had to be staged because
it wasn't perfect,
even
bro.
even I'm talking about the fact that he's already old as it is. I've seen old people in boxing who are referees get grazed by a punch and go to sleep. I've seen old people who referee in basketball games trip up, fall out. He's old getting shot and he takes it and does fist pumps. Like it was so perfect for him to
Yeah.
try to create like Roland said, this Captain America image. Like it's just nasty, man.
That's not a but here. I want to say this too. That's not a gunshot wound. It's not a gunshot
I
wound.
agree with you.
It's not a gunshot wound. It's not a. You ever seen a real gunshot wound?
So that's why I'm
You ever
saying
seen an actual movie that
so,
shows a gunshot wound?
so the probability of this 20-year-old kid getting to where he got was slim to none. And then he got the situation off to where he just grazed his ear.
Bro,
Like the odds of all this is so phony.
he got hit by. Thank you. He got hit by glass.
So now he's Meg the Stallion.
Come on, man. Come on. I'm just.
It's a joke. I mean, some things ain't even meant to talk about. Man, come on, give me a break.
Speak up, Ro.
I mean, are you serious, man? I mean, certain things just not meant to talk about. I mean, this is a joke.
I'm with you.
It's a joke.
With you, but we wouldn't be doing the justice if we didn't.
Yeah.
If we didn't address
Yeah,
it.
you gotta talk about it just for
Address it.
Yeah, I get.
But I'm not signing up for the foolery, man. I'm not falling for everything I see on TV and the internet, especially the way that shit went down. And like I said, that Secret Service to me was not a real Secret Service,
They
man.
weren't secret servicing. Their service. They wasn't servicing. secrecy.
Mike says it's like
Yeah, man,
WWE.
God.
Ashley says petty, man. Shout out to Ashley, man. Congrats
Shout out to-
again on the upcoming wedding.
Oh, that's
It's
right.
gonna be lit. Ashley and Bianca, congratulations.
Hey, look. So that goes into this question right here. Okay, really quick because we cutting into it. Is it possible to really have friends with different beliefs?
That's a good opening question.
Is it possible to have friends with different beliefs? Let me put the number 301-857-1757 to join into the conversation.
Yeah, it's an easy question to answer. So, yeah,
Because
You think it's
you know somebody, I promise you, there's not a single person that's either watching the show or in this room that knows a Trump supporter, that doesn't know a Trump supporter, whether they be black, white, or whatever color, right? Can you actually carry on a relationship with that person? And let's just say it's maybe it's not political. Let's just say it's religious, right? And you deeply ingrained into your religious beliefs. Can Is it possible to have a meaningful relationship with somebody with different beliefs? What say you have?
It depends on where your disagreements lie. Like if you can, like Ashley just said, she took the words out my mouth. As long as you respect each other's differences. If
Hmm.
I can disagree with you, but still, disagree, but agree that we can move on and still respect each other as friends, then yeah, absolutely. You can
Hmm.
agree to disagree, but you got to have a common level of maturity. And whatever that topic is that you disagree on, it can't be, I guess, a trigger for you or a super sensitive topic because I don't care what anybody says. If it's something that's really close to me and you just don't see it my way, I don't know if I can rock with you. Everybody says, oh, we can agree to disagree, but if I feel so strongly about something and then that person's like, oh, well, I basically say, fuck that, it might be
Hmm.
an issue. I think there's levels to what you as a friend can agree and disagree on. Like I can agree that you a Cowboys fan and I'm a Commanders fan. We can still be friends. You a bitch ass motherfucker because you a Cowboys fan, but
Hmm.
like you're an Eagles fan. You know what I'm saying? But like we can still be cordial. But that's one level to it,
Okay.
right?
So let's take it to the next level. Let's say you believe in Islamic faith, right? And your friend, close friend, is an atheist, okay, and don't believe in any religion, don't
Well,
believe there's God in it.
personally, I don't think any friendship should be on the balance of religious belief.
But
Personally, speaking for myself, I'm speaking for myself right now. I don't think that I wouldn't judge you if you were an atheist and if I believed in a certain God, I would not be your friend because you're an atheist.
okay,
Now,
that,
if a person said to me, well, I don't want you to ever, say anything to me about religion, that's off the table. At that
mhm,
point, you got to make a decision. Well, can we be friends? Because it might come up in conversation. You might have, different religious holidays and events that is your friend now gonna not come with you? You know
right.
what I'm saying? Like it gets, like I said, a little bit deeper than just the basic just topic. It's gonna be
Right.
levels
So
to it.
that's what I'm saying. So what's the red line? What's the red line for you? Like something that you wouldn't be able to deal with. Like you'd
All
have
right,
to
like if
like,
my friend told me right now they gonna keep smoking crack, I draw the line. If you have an uncontrollable addiction and you don't want to seek help, I don't think I could be your everyday friend at this point where I'm at in my life because that takes a lot of responsibility. And I've seen a lot of people take on people as friends, but also take on all their shortcomings, like their addictions, their habits, their anything you could bring negative to a friendship. Like it's gonna come out of your addictions, your habits, or just negative personality traits.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? But like for me, you know, if you're doing things to me that hurts me as a person, like if you're stealing from me or if you're lying to me, like I can't be your friend.
mhm.
It can't be like, oh well, we cool, but I lie sometimes. Like, nah, I can't be your friend. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my red line. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta know that if anything comes down, the worst thing in the world is that you're not gonna be the person I thought you was. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be at least, I hate to say the cliche, but just keep it real with me.
Mhm.
So
So they said that was a lie. So so
right.
so what do you do when let's say you have a lifelong friend, right?
I
Say you have
check
a
them. I
lifelong
check them, K Dizzle.
okay, so you check them, right?
I'm confrontational. I have a confrontational personality. So from what I was thinking your question was is what do I do when they start displaying those I guess, behaviors. And I'm gonna have to say that, like, I'm gonna say something to you about it because, you my man and you my homegirl. So at that point, we can talk about what you're doing that's affecting me because I can't have you throwing off my energy. Like, I need my friend when they're around me in my space to help my energy be not worse. I don't need you to come around and detract what I got going on.
Right, right. And you're talking about making sure that you keep the energy around you positive, which is what we always talk about. But what I'm so this comes into play when we're talking about you got a lifelong friend and their personality changes, their behaviors change. Like you said, easy one is hey, if they start smoking crack, you and they don't want to help and you try to help them, and they've crossed that red line. What do you do? Do you just cut them off completely and move
No,
on?
no, I might have a friend that has bad financial habits and they keep on being in the same position over and over. And for 15 years straight, I'm always getting those calls of like, oh, I need your help because I'm in this situation or I'm in that situation. And you always say yes every time, but as soon as you say no, it's a problem. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like that's the type of situation like for me is I can't rock with that. So when you ask me what do I do, I'm gonna say, look, man, you know, I love you to death, but it comes to a point to where you gotta be accountable and understand that there's a reason why I can help you these many times. Like I'm at work, when we're not together, when we're not chilling, drinking, having fun, partying, I'm at a job grinding so I can have shit. So where when you do call me, I can help you.
Mhm.
And it's not even personal. It ain't even like me trying to be funny and put myself on a pedestal, but it's just real shit. Like, how many times does a friend gotta be there for a friend?
Mhm.
And that's a whole nother conversation. But again, when you say what do, you gotta have communication. Communication is everything for every situation. But you gotta be able to address it to where you don't feel like you're gonna lose your friendship. But if your friendship's gonna be lost over some of these conversations, was it really a friendship? That's the question you gotta ask.
More than fair. More than fair. And here's another thing that goes around it, and why this question is important is what if, let's say, for instance, everybody, what are the negatives of not having people around you with different beliefs, right? You can't have a circle of friends that all saying the same thing.
Yeah, you got yes men at that point.
Yeah, yeah. So how can you operate in an area of accountability if everybody's thinking the same way you think?
I, I
How can
wouldn't
you
I
operate?
wouldn't want to I wouldn't want to vouch for that environment for myself. I don't know how you feel. I like diversity because if everybody is around me saying the same thing, I gotta get out that room for a minute because I might be. Yeah, it's not life doesn't go that way. So if anybody's in that situation, my advice to you is it's probably not normal. People are probably benefiting off of you for certain things. That's why everybody's always in your room saying everything you want them to say because you really get that real love when you don't get that same opinion that you expected from your friend or your family member because they loved you enough to tell you like, nah, you're not right now. This
Yeah.
isn't a situation where like, hey, does you looked at me before in our friendship and you said, look, half like I disagree with how you're carrying the situation, and it comes down to communication at the times because you could have said it in a different way and it might not have went the way that it should have went at that time. We might have doubled back and still got to the point of our friendship to where it is now. But you had the ability to just kind of reel me in and say, look, Hef, like that's not what it is, and that's a good piece of advice. Like you can have that communication with your friend and hope that it benefits them, but sometimes it's not. And when they look at you and they still don't take your help or your assistance in that situation, you got to make a decision. Like, are you still going to be there for that person? Or are you gonna, are you going to step back?
Well, shit. It's been all you, bro. It's been all you tonight. Have kicking that knowledge. Every clip's gonna be have kicking that knowledge, and that's facts. That's fiction, bro. So Because here's the moral of the story is this, and the reason why I ask this question is important because this is a super sensitive subject. What usually ends up happens because we're in a charged atmosphere right now. We talked about it before, and everybody has different beliefs and different ideals and what's going on, and people can get it so far in heated conversations, even talking about Christianity and the Islamic faith or Latter Day Saints or atheism or what it is or whatever it is, or marriage or not marriage or situationships, whatever it is. People have their own ideas and beliefs and core values. And when somebody comes along and in their life that comes to challenge those core values without even being open into listening to other ideas, they'll shut them off and move on and go into a circle and go into their own circle of influence, which all they do is feed and perpetuate um, everything that they want to agree with and everything that they want to hear. Uh, somebody somebody asked me this question. Well, somebody proposed this question to me and said, "Hey, uh, they told me a situation. I got a friend. They're getting married, and they told me they was getting married, and I don't really like his. I don't like his fiance. I know all about the situation, real close, and I don't know whether to tell him or not. That he shouldn't get married because he's my friend." But I want to be honest with him. I know he's happy, but I want to be honest with him at the same time.
So what you're saying is you said a friend told you that their friend is getting married to somebody that they didn't particularly care for.
Correct.
So what were they thinking?
Their question was, do I tell them? Do I tell this guy? Do I tell this person how I really feel about their new fiance? Or do I tell them I think he shouldn't get married?
Well, that's two different questions.
Those are two different questions.
Because
So
the first question you said that they said I felt a certain way, but it led me to asking what the second question was, which is their ultimate, I would assume, goal is to maybe convince them to not get married. And at that point, that's a little scary. I think that there's a certain boundary as a friend that you shouldn't even cross.
okay,
And when a person is making a decision on marrying somebody, you would hope that your friends enough to be able to say it early enough.
hmm
I wouldn't want to say it right at the time of getting married, like, oh, well,
no, no, yeah,
and again, that's nasty. Like you don't want to put yourself in that position. Like I can throw some things out there to you and paint a picture for you, but I can't make decisions for you.
right,
But I can't also change how I feel about you because you're getting married to somebody. Like
right,
it shouldn't change how I feel about you and how our friendship is,
hmm
you know? So for me, again, to answer your question, if I'm cool enough with you from early to where you just meet the girl or the guy, and I'm like, hey, from early, I'm not really, it's a lot easier to accept than waiting a whole 2 years and all of a sudden you come out and say, yeah, I know you've been fucking with this person for 2 years, but they're a piece of shit. And I really want to tell you, you shouldn't get married. Like, that's nasty work. What you think?
Roland, if your man was getting married, right, and
Yeah.
you know everything about their relationship, and you know it's bad news, but it's your man, and you let him do his thing because this is his life and his girl's relationship, and you say he want to marry her, and you don't think it's a good idea that he marry you. Do you tell him?
Yeah. Quickly. I'll be the first to tell him.
And
The first
now,
to tell him, why let him go through the nonsense? Man, at least give him a warning. He won't be on your contract.
all right. So part two. All right. He say, all right, I'm gonna marry you anyway. I want you to be my groomsman. I want you to be my groomsman. You be his groomsman.
Sure. I'll be there with Sam Sargent say written big on my forehead.
But he said,
A lot
I
of
agree.
people have been in that situation.
Still support him. Still support him.
You still support him.
I'll be
'Cause you
right
still
there
your
with Sam. Look, guess what? I won't have no hat on my forehead. Sam Sargent. Big dummy.
That's
Be
funny.
right across my forehead.
You know why? Because that's what friends do. You're gonna be there for the wedding party. You're gonna be there for the wedding ceremony, and it's a possibility you can be there for the divorce. But even either way, you want to be there
Divorce.
for your man's inside out. That's the definite right answer to the question. The magic of the difference is Alex Salro and Super Late. The magic of the question is it's all about your relationship with the person. When we're talking about different beliefs or different ideals, even especially in that situation, it's making sure you got the right relationship to be able to have a conversation, have a decent conversation, and be able to go back to your corners
Okay.
respectively.
Okay. K
Respectively.
Dizzle. Okay, K Dizzle. But what if you're the type of person that's got this friend that you take everything that they say to heart and like they've always been a friend of good advice. And then that
Mhm.
friend waits to pull that bullshit right on your like day before your wedding day if you shouldn't get married. And like you got actual faith in what they say.
Mhm.
Is that person a good friend to do that at that moment? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, man. I don't want to hear that shit the day before I'm getting married. Even like, especially if it's from a person that I respect and gotta, take their opinion.
Mhm.
Like, damn, like I wish you'd have told me that before. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a tough one in my opinion.
It is a tough one. If you're doing that, like you said, that just mean the person that's saying it at that point just doesn't value the relationship enough to tell you. They wait till the last minute. That's friendship suicide. That's super procrastination. They don't really care about your feelings at that point.
Yeah.
That's just like what's that 90 Day Fiance or
Yeah.
the one where they meet at the altar or they that's the same situation where you got to go back and say, what's the old boy that I got on? He waited, they went through the whole process. They would get married, he met the parents, they had the dinner, they did all this stuff.
Yeah,
You
you
wait
talked
all the way
about
till they
that.
get to the altar and tell a girl, nah, I ain't gonna marry you in front of their whole family and friends. That's crazy as hell. That's diabolical at that point. That's super nasty work. So, what up, Sal? So, yeah, just mainly, guys, it's okay to have friends with different opinions, different beliefs, different religions, different cultures. Just make sure that you guys understand and recognize and value their opinions more so than anything and respect each other's differences, but have good conversations and know and be okay with expressing it and going back to the corner and say, okay, that's good for you. This is good for me. We can agree to disagree, but we're always going to have a good conversation. Because if you don't have those people in your area, those people in your circle that have different opinions or different ideas, or even just different viewpoints, you get into that club of yes people. You don't learn anything, you don't grow, and you don't move forward. So
Or you could just be like that person, like Shanae, like my girl. She has, out of her own words, different friends that she talks to when she knows their types of reactions. So she kind of knows who to take the conversation to,
yeah,
and you gotta have that type of sense and vibe. Like if you want to talk to the friend that's like good with you venting, go to your venting friend.
mhm.
If you want to talk to your friend that's not about, giving you the shoulder to cry on, but wants to give you solutions, go to that friend. But part of that is understanding and having a level of communication.
And that's dangerous too because you can use that knowledge and go to the person who's going to give you the answer that you want.
True. Very true.
So that's dangerous as well. So you just got to be careful. You got to be careful on all rounds of that action. So let me pull that down. Hef, now that time. Tell them they can find you, my guy. Tell them what you got coming
Man,
up.
that was a great episode, man. Appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Appreciate Roland Leonard for guest hosting with the All Dressed Up podcast. But Half Streams Media is jumping on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, everywhere. The All Dressed Up podcast is everywhere. Oh, you know what? Oh, I got to tell you one thing before we go, K Dizzle.
Go ahead.
So I got an email from
Uh-huh.
a publication called Voyage that
Mhm.
they have a magazine based out of LA, and they feature major cities. So there's a Voyage Baltimore, and I got approached to do a interview piece for their magazine, and I'm
Nice.
excited about that. So keep an eye
Nice.
out for that. That's coming. I'm going to talk about the Climbback series and tell Have Streams' story. So I'm excited to plug that and keep an eye out for that. But Have Streams Media everywhere. And K Dizzle, I know you always are jumping everywhere too. So let them know.
We everywhere. K Dizzle DC's Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, everywhere. And look, we always got stuff cooking. But man, more importantly, this is episode 103.
Yep.
And it's come a long, long way. Long way. We got a lot more to go, a lot more action to come about. So we appreciate y'all for coming out every Sunday that we do this. We love y'all. We wouldn't be here without you. And again, you'll see us on the next ride. So shout out to the underdogs. Ashley, again, see you at the wedding.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Sal, what up? Have everybody coming out. P, we love y'all. We'll see y'all.
And you know, and I know, and they know, cause we know, we go all in, you know, and I know, they know, cause we know, we go all